Hello, family and friends. This is your son or your friend or your boyfriend, Nicholas, broadcasting to you from New Zealand, from my room. I thought I'd update you all through a video this time because it's easier to read than an email, and so you can see me. And so I want to tell you about my weekend this past weekend. I went to a place called Rotorua, which was about 3.5 hours south of where I'm staying here in Auckland. It was in the middle of the North Island. And so what I did there, I did a bunch of stuff there, and I'll just tell you briefly about all of them. And so I was staying there a couple of nights. I stayed in a hostel for the first time in my life, and it was really, really quality. It was basically like staying in a dorm room in a college. Is basically what it was like. And it was very clean, and it was very safe. Card access to the doors and card access to the building itself. And it was $25 a night, which is crazy. And I stayed in bunks the first night, and then actual beds the other two nights, and it was right in the center of the city. It's perfect. So anyway, the main thing Rotorua is so famous for, and what I did my first day there, is zorbing. I don't know if you all know what zorbing is, but it's when you roll down a hill in a giant plastic ball with a giant plastic sphere, and it's transparent and it rolls down the hill. And I did a zigzag course, so you bouncing back and forth down a hill, and I did the kind where you fill it like ankle deep with water, so you're sloshing around like this the whole time you're going down the hill. And so that was so fun. I did that. That same day I did the luge, which is these little carts that you ride down you take a gondola, you take like a ski lift to the top of this mountain, and you ride a luge all the way down it. And it's like these carts where you pull back to brake and you move forward to go, and that's it, and you steer all the way down the hill. And there were times when there was one part where you catch air off the ground a little bit, and times where you turn very sharply and you go on two wheels, and it was so fun, and all of you would have loved it so much. Ravine, you sent me the video of this luge months ago, and I've been excited to do it since you sent me it, and I finally got to do it, and it was everything I hoped it would be. And so those were the two sporty things I did. And then Rotorua, what Rotorua is actually famous for is it's the place where the Earth's crust is really thin, and so it smells like sulfur there because there are boiling pits of mud like randomly throughout the city, and steam coming out from the ground in certain places from the Earth's crust being so thin, and the gases from from under the earth coming out from below. And so there's this park called Waitapu that I went to that is just like a vast amount of all this geothermal stuff, and that's what I'll attach some emails to the picture, or attach some pictures to the email that I send you with this video of that. And that was fascinating. Beautiful colors, and then really strange, like a green lake and a green pool that they called the Devil's Bath. There's just this pit with water that was green from chemicals from the earth, and steam rising from a lake. It was ridiculous stuff. And and then the one other thing I did was I went and saw Hobbiton, the place where Hobbiton is the part of the Shire where Bag End is, which is where Bilbo and Frodo lived, and where that was filmed in the trilogy and in the Hobbit movie that's coming out. I went and saw it because it was only an hour away from Rotorua, and I took a bus to see it on Sunday. And it was everything I hoped it would be. I loved it so much. I took pictures of all the Hobbit holes and me in front of them, and more than just taking pictures, I stayed at like the back of my tour group so I could just stare at all the things for as long as I want and not be pushed by the rest of the group. And it was so nice. It was so pretty. It was in the middle. It wasn't the kind of filming place where, there's like a road right by you and like houses nearby or something. No, it was in the middle of a gigantic sheep farm. I'd say hundreds of acres of rolling green hills and sheep. And it was in the middle of all of this. There was this lake with a giant tree, and then they built Hobbiton. These little outside parts of Hobbit holes all along this hillside, and I got to see it, and it was where they filmed the outdoor scenes of Hobbiton in all of the movies, and it was such a good experience, and I'm so glad I did it, and it was one of the highlights of my weekend. And then I took the bus back on Sunday and got back here last night. Last night was Sunday night for me. And so that's my weekend, and I'll have a few pictures attached to the email, and thanks for watching. I miss you all. Bye bye.